I think it is not only a great documentary that looks into the lives of this family, but also um, as a whole with the community, looking into the lives of those affected by Katrina. Um, it was almost 20 years ago, just about. I'm rounding up, but it's for something that seems so distant. It still has very tangible, um, you know, consequences that people are still dealing from. And I think this shows not only the plight of the individuals who have suffered because of Katrina, but also the resilience in their communities. I think this is a really informative piece, letting people know that, hey, there are still people being impacted by this, and this is a greater issue as a whole. This is incredibly informative. You have a great emotional pull on this story. Hearing from this family and their resilience is just really, really great, and hearing their story. And it's edited together to be a very informative and heart gripping documentary.
This was really incredibly well done. I loved this. It was so nice to be able to get to know generations of the Harrison family and learn about them and find out, I remember Katrina and I remember that kind of devastation, and seeing those images brought up so much. It was just gut wrenching, and it just rips your heart out for all of the individuals who lost their homes. So finding out about not only this family, but this community was incredible. And that's something that brings me to the music. The saxophone, the music that is down there, it just screams of community and people helping each other and not doing it to get something in return, doing it because we're all one, we're all family. And I know that that sounds very idealistic, but that's kind of how I feel. I think that there was some great camera work in this. I loved what they did with their camera angles, and I really loved learning and seeing the costumes for the Mardi Gras Indians at Carnival, what they were doing. It was just incredibly beautiful, and so much history there that is just, New Orleans is just steeped in history, and a beautiful history at that.
And what's so beautiful is that this community comes together and educates and encourages the expansion of their cultures from not only New Orleans, not only from Katrina, from this heartache, from this devastation, but, they really make the moves to not let their culture die. You get to see the indigenous resources and what inspire them to continue to keep this alive. You get to see this mix of Caribbean history as well. And we are met with soul, not just the music, literally, not jazz, not just that structure, but the soul of the human body. And we get to see this family undergo through triumphs. And it's quite beautiful to see them really hold on to their roots and what they've known, despite the loss of everything that they've lost. But I think in the end, they found their community, and they found reason to continue, and they found a need to continue making sure that where they come from is known. And I think that's what's so beautiful about this piece.
Impactful but powerful documentary. It had a lot of messages about protecting a legacy for the next generation, and it's very harrowing seeing how tragedies that can happen can have long lasting consequences if nothing is done to fix them. Uh, for a lot of people, Hurricane Katrina was very much a distant memory, but for those who were essentially abandoned by the system, they're still reeling from the ramifications of that hurricane because nothing was ever done to aid those individuals. Um, and seeing the community band itself together because of the fact that uh, they've essentially been left to rot, uh, while powerful in the sense that they refuse to bend to the will of the people who've essentially long forgotten them. It's very tragic and upsetting that this is even a situation that they have to rise above in the first place.
It's incredibly well done. It's really informative, um, and eye-opening, and it's also inspiring at the same time. It manages to put the focus on the problems that were previously hidden and that maybe the rest of the world doesn't know necessarily. And I think it does a really great job of talking about those systemic issues and how they impact individual families and actions that can be taken to improve that. And I think the way that they focus on that hope element makes for a really compelling and interesting documentary because it's well rounded all throughout.